You were in the free speech zone. No safe spaces allowed. Nightcaps with Nate.
Coming to you live from just outside the swamp of the nation's capital. Get ready for invigorating talk, commentary, and debate on the issues affecting your life. Grab your favorite drink. It's Nightcaps with Nate. Now, here's Nate.
Hey, welcome to Nightcaps with Nate. This episode is brought to you by R. Kelly. I'm on Team Joe. He says, you had me at COVID-9. Yep. He says, I'm with you, Joe. He sees nothing wrong with a little COVID 9-year-old bump and grind. Yeah, feel it, Kareem. Remember when that song was a hit? All right, hey, welcome to Nightcaps with Nate. I am Nate, and I have, as usual, on with me, I have our very progressive, liberal, not to be confused with the Democrat, just votes Democrat because she feels it's the lesser of two evils, Natalie Demers, a.k.a. my sister. Only I can talk shit about her. By the way, if any of you rednecks talk crap about my sister online again, I'll have to find you. And
yeah, and I'm coming with you to find him.
That's right. And then representing his own clothing line, Hood Samaritan, all the way from Florida, he is Kareem Jackson. He is black, Republican, and a Second Amendment supporter. So go to Hood Samaritan, Hood Samaritan on Instagram or Facebook, or PM us and look at his clothing line. He is selling shirts. He now has masks. Not to be outdone, he has the hair things. What are those hair things called?
The wraps for the ladies. You want to have your wrap at work, and then you also want to have your mask to match.
There you go. Hey,
so you can feel sexy and safe. The two S's.
And I love his logo. It's back there behind him on the screen. The Hood Samaritan. He got that logo because he is from the hood, but he is a good Christian Samaritan. So he put together Hood Samaritan from the streets of Chicago. So, hey, welcome to the show. It's going to be a good one tonight. I'm very proud to be on the show tonight. We have so much news to get to today. I'm so surprised. Hey, by the way, make sure that you start your own watch parties. We're trying to get to 3,000 viewers tonight. Also, we only have, I think, 13 slots left on YouTube, where you can go to Nightcaps with Nate. Just search it in YouTube. Go to our page, subscribe. After we get to 100, we are going to do a live drawing for $100, and we will announce that so that we'll announce it in advance so that you know that you're actually watching that night. If you can, you might win your $100. Hey, that's a 1% chance, but hey, it's $100. So it would be $100 sent through either PayPal or Facebook or however you like it. So again, start your watch parties. If you have not liked or followed this page yet, make sure that you do that. If you want to join the show and be live with us, make sure that you go to Nightcaps with Nate page at Facebook, and that's where we are going to. I got feedback. I had feedback there. All right. Amber says hello. Andrew, hello. Or ha ha ha. And Amber says that that is a good song. All right, but that is a song by a pervert, okay? That's like, we don't vote for Biden, do we, Natalie? Because he's a pervert.
He is pervert.
He's a perv, but we don't support his music. Actually, you can now because you're safe. He's in prison now. Actually, he was actually asking for an early release from what I heard because of COVID-19. I think every criminal right now is petitioning the judge for a compassionate release for COVID-19. I would too. I ain't gonna lie. Get a little break from jail.
I'm having a hard time with this Biden stuff, Nathan.
Why? Tell me. Talk to me.
Well, because, the Me Too is a really big thing. I mean, that's one of my core values almost is believing women when they, when they're claiming rape and assault. And, I'm having a hard time because, we also have, 3 Supreme Court picks that are coming up too. And right. I'm not wanting Trump to get them.
Well, I am. And thank God, hey, you know what? This is your own doing. Your party could have beat us in 2016 with Bernie Sanders. I'm not going to lie. Bernie Sanders would have, because it was a populist agenda against a populist agenda, and Trump had a lot more baggage than Bernie. Bernie's now seen to is too old. And what they're going to try to do is they're going to try to put Cuomo in there, and it's going to even further piss off Bernie because Bernie Sanders supporters are going to say, wait, he was second in line.
Well, the polls are showing a lot of favor for Biden right now, and so
Don't believe those polls.
Trump is pretty low right now.
Actually, he's doing well in the Rasmussen poll. He's 49 favorable, 48 unfavorable, which is the first time I've seen that even in that poll in forever. Other polls show them neck and neck. You got to watch the polls that's laid out. If we trusted the polls that's laid out, then John Kerry would be president, Al Gore would have been president, and Hillary Clinton would have been president. And for a Democrat to win, they need to be at least 6 or 7 points ahead the day of in the national vote, because that's the only way they're going to win the Electoral College. You understand? California and New York are big. Hey, Kareem, I don't think we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Oh, yeah. There I go right there. My bad. I had muted it because that R. Kelly music had me going. But anyway, before we go off a tangent, Biden don't stand a chance.
He don't?
He don't. The best chance he would have had was if Michelle Obama would decide to run with him, then he would have had maybe, Michelle, she's the real deal. He would have had an opportunity to probably get some votes out there. But right now, Biden's not looking good.
Well, Michelle has zero want to run. So that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
And
so
somehow we had a little bit of echo there. Okay, we're not anymore. Natalie, did we lose you? All right, we're going to move on. So, The Hill. Tara Reid offers to testify under oath and take a polygraph test if Biden does. That is not good for Biden, because now Biden saying, hey, what she's doing is she's putting the ball in his court saying, hey, take a polygraph. I have nothing to lose. You do it too. Here's what I fear, though. You could go find your own polygrapher, and, they'll say whatever you want to say to him.
Mm-hmm.
But there goes the whole Me Too movement. The whole Me Too movement is dead. Nancy Pelosi says that she's done talking about Tara Reid. I'm not going to answer these questions anymore, she says. Sexual assault accusers shocked that Joe Biden put Chris Dodd on VP committee. Joe Biden and the Me Too double standard. Bottom line, Me Too is gone. They might as well just go ahead and just hang it up. And
I wouldn't say that. Me Too is a strong movement, and man, they came out swinging. Man, they knocked out some pretty powerful people.
Yeah, when they were fair, they had credibility, so they could.
So what if they detach themselves from the Democratic Party? Then what?
Well, they can't, because the Democratic Party co-opted the movement, and so now they're being hypocrites about it. And so when people think of Me Too, they thought, because this originally, Me Too went against some Democrats, but mostly went against Brett Kavanaugh and Trump himself and stuff. And now that it's their candidate and they're not doing it, that's kind of like being, like me, I don't care who gets married. I think government should get out of marriage. But if 2 dudes want to have a civil contract, or a guy and a girl, or a guy and 4 girls, I don't care. Consenting adults, I'm a libertarian, right?
Right.
But that would be like me being one of those Christian right conservatives and saying, oh, gay marriage. And then you got found, in a bathroom stall with a dude, which happens sometimes, right? It isn't the fact that he got caught in a bathroom stall with a dude. It's the fact that he was a hypocrite about it. And that's the problem with the Me Too movement. It turned into a big hypocritical movement. And that's just not good, man. Not good for optics.
It's not good, but they're going to find a way to still stay alive through this somehow, some way.
They can now. It's not too late. They can come out and say, you know what? No, we do believe Tara Reid, and no, we are not going to support this guy until he takes at least a polygraph. Now, if he takes a polygraph, he can put this all to rest. If he took a polygraph from an independent polygrapher that both sides agree, and he passes, and he might pass. The guy's got dementia. I mean, it's not, you can't lie if you don't know about it.
Oh man.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh man. I don't know. Oh man, this is not good, man. Biden, man. Bad timing, man. Bad timing.
Hey, what are you drinking, by the way? I saw that you had a drink and that you were I'm still keeping it. We normally talk about the drinks at the beginning of the show, but we start off so hot and heated. But I'm still keeping that Cinco de Mayo thing going with the Modelo Negra and the Don Julio 1942. You're mixing all that?
Mixing all that is just 2 things, man. You just got to have a beer and a shot. That's all you do.
Okay. All right.
Just a beer and a shot.
And how long you been
It's called-
drinking? You turned up?
No, not really. I was turned up early, then I had to turn down. I was really working on my inventory and getting some orders out for the shop. So I had to stop what I was doing and going to the shop because I thought we was recording earlier today.
No,
So-
we are going live, baby. Okay, so
Let's go.
hey, I was hoping Natalie would have rejoined us by now. Maybe she had troubles, but Trump
She'll be
campaign is about to unload on Biden with negative ad onslaught. It marks a turning point in the president's re-election campaign. The Cash Flush campaign is slated to do more than $10 million on a national advertising blitz across broadcast and cable channels, as well as online. One of the commercials say Biden coddles China. I am going to play an exclusive right now. So go ahead and go on mute real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Go on mute, and I'm going to play this for the viewers.
Ready to go?
This is a crisis.
This is no time for Donald Trump's record of hysterical xenophobia.
Biden's son inked a $1 billion deal with a subsidiary of the Bank of China.
Why are we getting nervous, man?
China is going to eat our lunch? Come on, man. They're not bad folks.
Since the outbreak, the Communist Party has been mobilizing overseas organizations to buy local supplies and send them to China.
The growth of China is overwhelmingly in our interest. What a beautiful history we wrote together. Banning all travel will not stop it.
The president is right. That travel restriction on China, as every public health official we've talked to said, bought the country time.
Hysterical xenophobia. Dear mine. Xenophobia.
Joe.
He indicated that I complimented him on dealing with China. I'm not going nuts.
I'm Donald Trump, and I approve this message.
Ready to go?
All right, let me tell you what. He is attacking, kind of, without coming out and saying it. First of all, he's going after him on China because they know the Bidens coddled up to China. Hunter Biden's got like this big deal with China for no apparent reason. And while he got the deal while his dad was vice president, so that's a little bit of cronyism there. But he's also going after his cognition. If you saw at the very end, until he forgot, and then they're showing him like all confused looking and stuff. I know Natalie thinks that is rude and mean and heartless, but guess what? You throw yourself out there to run for president of the United States, you throw yourself out there.
Listen, I don't have a problem with them going after them as long as it has to do with the actual presidency. Like, if he's not here, if he has dementia, or if he's forgetting things, how can he do our foreign policy? Things like that, like I have no problem with that. I have a problem with meanness when people just attack him, and make fun of him and make jokes at his expense and all that. I mean, this is a man who doesn't deserve that.
Well, I mean, between waitress sandwich when he and Dodd and them were sexually harassing and assaulting a waitress in a restaurant while they were drunk. Oh, by the way, he picked Dodd to vet his female VP. Between him following little girls, I think he deserves whatever's coming his way if he throws himself out there.
Listen, but don't mix apples and oranges. If he does deserve what he gets when it comes to anything that has to do with hurting little girls or hurting women, but stay focused on that, because the thing is when you open up that door and you start making fun of people who have dementia and then you're opening up the door for, there are people who have loved ones, and that's not a funny thing at all to hear.
Yeah, but Kareem, don't forget you were on mute. But remember,
it's sad, but when you run for president, you already got to know that that's part of the process.
And would they do it to? Would they do it to us?
Man, they do it to anybody.
Right. That's politics, man.
There's no presidential candidate that went through this process and the whole background was broke down and scrutinized and
Yeah, exactly. Russell Gilchrist says, Nate, you should run for president. Heck no. I have no desire to. I don't want them going through my skeletons, man.
And as you can see with the current president we have right now, they don't stop once you become president.
Oh, I know. Well, making fun of his, the orange,
orange man bad, or
yeah, and making fun of and everything and to me that's just stupid. Let's stick to attacking their policy, attacking their ideas, attacking things that matter.
Well, we would try
to. You gotta be strong if you want to run America. You got to be hard.
And you got to have a good mind. But here's the other deal: is that the media is giving him a free pass on that, free pass on the Me Too, free pass on all this. And come to find out, the media's big tech has been testing. Well, they went to Michigan, Project Veritas. Now, I know a lot of people aren't fans of them, so I always, before I post their stuff, double check it. This happened just before we went live, so sorry I didn't have it on the thing. But CBS News is actually having to come out and deny staging coronavirus testing line at a Grand Rapids, Michigan hospital after Project Veritas released video showing that the CEO, probably a Democrat, had known that CBS was coming, and to fit the narrative that we're out of testing supplies and PPE and that the lines were so long because the lines weren't long at all and there's plenty of testing there, they actually had their employees jump into cars and get into the line as drive-through testing. I'm going to play you less than 60 seconds of this clip real quick. You guys can hear it. This is a person. Now, Natalie used to work in Grand Rapids, and this is called Cherry Health. Cherry Health. Yep.
Yeah, the Medicaid clinic.
Yeah, there you go. Hold on. Go ahead and go mute.
You're telling me you're 100% certain that CBS News Corporation, National, staged a fake event. They faked the news. They faked the reality and broadcasted that to all of their audience last Friday on CBS This Morning.
100%, absolutely.
Here's him going undercover.
The news crew wanted more people in the line because they knew it was scheduled.
Well, we knew they were coming. We had no clue that we were going to have to, do fake patients.
Gotcha. And did she tell you guys, hey, you're not actually getting tested?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, she did. Just to make it look busy for the news because they were right there watching.
That's crazy. Because I didn't see you guys do the swab at all. I just saw you talking with them. And then I was talking with the other girl.
There were a couple of real patients, which made it worse.
There were a couple of real patients that made it worse, and for those that were sick and really getting tested, they actually had to sit in this long line, this fake long line, so that they can fit the narrative. Now, CBS News originally denied it, but then they showed it on CBS This Morning, and the newscaster Hoda, I forgot her name, says, it always comes back to that testing. We'll kind of find out now. CBS News has actually scrubbed that thing off their internet. That is damning. And I love Project Veritas because they actually expose a lot of the hypocrisy on the left. I'm sure that you guys wish you had that on the right. What do you think about that, Natalie?
Why do you think that they are doing that? Why do you think that they're coming up with these fake
to make Trump look bad? Make Trump look bad. Oh, there's not enough testing. Whitley went to a testing site. A lot of people went to testing sites that I know of, and they said, hey, there was never a line. He got right in there. Maybe one person in front of you.
How do you know that they're doing it to make Trump look bad? What if they're just trying to have a story?
Why is the story, and I could agree with that if it went both ways, but why is the story that they're always trying to have go against the Republican? It never goes against, if they want a story, they have a sexual assault allegation that they could be pounding on right now, but they don't. If they wanted a story, they have a president that probably has dementia, a presidential candidate that probably has dementia. They could be pounding on that. Why is it always that they're always finding
a lot of time on Biden?
Compared to Trump.
That claim, I've been paying attention, and they spend a lot on Biden.
Only because I've been bringing it up, and so now you're kind of watching out for it. But in every day, passing media, I listen to NPR News every single day, and I have not seen anything, heard anything on Biden. If that was Trump, it would be 2 or 3 stories in their 5-minute news segment just devoted to Trump. Period.
Yeah, you're right. This is another ploy to make the current, people in power look bad. And it's unfortunate that people have to go through these type of measures at this time just to prove a point. Just get tested, get people tested, and do the right thing, and
The point is that there are tests. There are plenty of tests out there. We actually have tested more people than any other country in the world right now. Amber said this has been happening all over. How do you expect me to believe this is real? Go ahead and type in and tell me what you mean by that. What do you mean that this is real? What if they are doing this to keep, and I'll have to wait till controlling us. Whitmer just extended our stay-at-home order, and that's coming up. That's coming up. Don't go ahead of me yet, Amber. You're too good. You're going to be with Whitley producing this thing.
Man, I can't believe Whitmer, man. She is. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah, here it is. Gretchen Whitmer, Governor Whitmer, has put you guys all on house arrest for another 2 weeks. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has extended Michigan's stay-at-home order to May 28th. But if you're manufacturing jobs like the big three, you can resume work on Monday. And everybody say, well, that sounds fair. That's good. That was a giveaway back to the unions, because all the big three are part of the UAW. The UAW leadership is in the Democrats' pockets, or the Democrats are in their pockets begging. And so those Democrats, the UAW said, hey, I don't care what you do. You can bankrupt every small business around here. Every mom and pop, you can bankrupt them. But our UAW members need to get back to work, because guess who's paying their salary when they're out? Usually it comes from either a strike fund, or the big three is going to have to start closing up plants, and it's going to hurt them. And they can't have that. So this was a big payback to the unions right here, and that is sickening. Go ahead, Natalie. I know you're outnumbered. I want to give you a fair shot.
I actually wanted to bring up something else. We never talked about what we're drinking, unless that was.
We did. You were gone.
Oh.
What are you drinking?
I even bought a special bottle today.
What'd you bring? Let's see it. I'm drinking the normal Bacardi Diet.
I have sweet Riesling, and it came with chopsticks. I don't know why they came with chopsticks.
If anybody on here knows why that would come with chopsticks, please fill us in, because there's got to be a reason.
Yeah.
Unless it's to be paired with Asian cuisine. You know, some wines pair easier with others.
Yeah, wines is what you normally drink at dinner when you're relaxing. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So there you go. You got dinner all planned out. You got the chopsticks. Just need some Asian food.
Yeah.
People are tired of being on lockdown. That's all I'm going to tell these Democrat governors, especially. I know that I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt, which I shouldn't, but you are just being nanny state Democrat, and I'm a libertarian, so I think people should be able to, it's funny because Democrats are all about pro-choice when it comes to killing their fetus, but they're not about like you going out there, and if you want to catch your own infection, go ahead. Right.
But much like how Republicans are pro-life, except for after the baby's born.
Right. So the bottom line is that my body, my choice. Let them out of their house, man. No, even put the stupid thing on there. And this also goes to that show that everybody keeps sending me, Plandemic, and I did watch a little bit of it, read up on it, all that stuff. I'm not sure I'm a big believer in it. I'm not an anti-vaxxer at all. I think vaccines are great. Now, I'm not going to be the first in line to go get a vaccine, because I want you guys to test it out in your bodies first. But
I'll be right behind you.
Right. So about 6 months after, I'll probably go get the vaccine, because nothing more homeopathic to me. But when they do stupid stuff like this, or like when YouTube takes that video off, all you did was raise credibility of the conspiracy theorists.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's all you're doing. And when you're holding people back, because now it's not safe. It's safe to go to Walmart, a big box, but you can't go to a mom and pop. And Gretchen says it's safe to go boating, but you can't have a motorboat up until recently because she got beat up by it. You could go golfing, but you can't touch a golf cart. And you're not allowed to go to work yet unless you're UAW going to the auto industry. I mean, come on. People are tired of it. Amber says we're all over it. And I agree with it, man. You're over it. So over it. This next lady, she's just so bored at home. Now, this is Oklahoma. Oh, Ohio. Of course, it's Ohio. Go Michigan. Screw Ohio State. Woman arrested after calling cops to report a fire in her crotch. An Ohio woman was placed under arrest after reportedly calling 911 to ask for help extinguishing a fire in her crotch. She said she called to say that her we'll just say poot nanny, we'll say instead of the real word, was ablaze, and that she needed a fireman to come over with his hose. Are the hoses working? She needs somebody to put it out. Okay? People are sitting at home getting drunk. In fact, we might have more deaths from liver disease later on than the COVID-19 because of this this lockdown. I think we lost Natalie again.
Yeah, well, let's pray for that. I mean, there's some crazy stuff going on right now in Michigan. Didn't that shooting just happen in Michigan at the Dollar Tree or Walmart? I mean, at the dollar store or something like that?
Oh yeah, that was in Flint. That's where I'm from. That's just because Flint's just a nasty, dangerous place to live. But yeah, I mean, the guy, father of the year for Burton School District, came out and said, "Hey, you got to put on a mask. That's the rule." And somebody shot him.
Come on, man. We need to do better, man. Especially my people, man. We gotta do better, man.
You are. It's coming up, and that's why there's more and more Black Republicans, just like yourself, and Hood Samaritans that are leaving the hood or going back to the hood, making a better place. JD Neal, he always calls me corporate dad. He says your corporate ass would get the vaccine. Of course I would. There's nothing more homeopathic than tricking your body to beat a disease. Nothing. If there was a vaccine for Lyme disease, every hunter in the world should get it. Jeffrey Lincoln, there's no one staying home here. You should see the traffic. Amber, I have been doing everything in the same as I was before this happened. Hey, I live in a state of freedom called West Virginia. We can actually go to the bars outside now, restaurants. I took Whitley out for Cinco de Mayo. It's been good, man. Life's been good.
Yeah.
Let's move
Florida
on.
opened up too. Florida opened up restaurants and at 25%. But hey, what's 25%? You know, so only thing that's not open here is just barbershops and hair and nail shops. But you know.
Andrew's right. He said open up, just use precautions. In addition to affecting us economically, it's affecting us psychologically. Right. I mean, my wife said, hey, you're drinking a lot more. One, because I do the show every night. But two, it's because I'm absolutely bored out of my mind. Thank God I have this show every night. And hopefully I'm providing y'all some entertainment too. Hey, remember when Popeye's chicken sandwich was all the rage? People were like killing each other for it, sneaking them out the back door.
It was going crazy. People was fighting. I couldn't get Popeye's chicken sandwich was out for 30 days or almost a month and a half before I could even get into a Popeyes to get one because I couldn't do the line.
I think it was a marketing ploy. There's no way they ran out of chicken. We weren't going through COVID then. Plenty of chicken. But this lady, she's so bored and hungry and food bored, she actually shot up a McDonald's because she couldn't eat inside. I don't know who in the hell would want to go to McDonald's that bad, but a woman 32 shot 3 teenage McDonald's workers in angry rage after she was told the dining area was closed because of coronavirus restriction. Gloricia Woody, 32, was arrested Monday night after she allegedly shot 3 teenage McDonald's employees after she was told the dining area is closed. This one happened, I believe, in Oklahoma. Dude, it's McDonald's. It's McDonald's, not even good. That's like what we talked about with powdered milk. That's one step above powdered milk.
Damn, sister. I mean, Chick-fil-A. If it was Chick-fil-A, I'd get Chick-fil-A. You might have to shoot some shit up for Chick-fil-A, but McDonald's, come on, man.
Yeah, McDonald's. Carrie Daniels at least went to breakfast at Wendy's. I mean, it's McDonald's. And who cares if you can't go inside? Now, I don't know if she just didn't have a car. Maybe that's it. Maybe she doesn't. You know how they won't serve you through the drive-thru unless you're in a vehicle? Maybe she didn't have a vehicle and she's tired of eating, whatever she has at home.
Or kids. You remember these kids been out of school for the last month and a half. They got the playground in McDonald's. You know, maybe get these damn kids out the house, go to this playground and let them get something to eat and run around and get some air. And
they got to get something done. I mean, this energy and stuff. I've been making my girls go on the treadmill every day, for 30 minutes, walking or the elliptical because I have it in my house. But they got to do something because, they've closed all these parks. They've closed everything down. And these kids have nowhere to go. Amber, she's bringing up in Owasso, a guy opened his barber store. That's actually coming up. Boy, she is on it tonight, Amber. She's like psychic. All right.
Shout out to Amber.
Yeah, she's actually my cousin. So, Weather Boy. I never even heard of this site, and apparently they forgot that there's an Upper Peninsula, if you can see there. But NBC News, developing potentially historic May snowstorm. Now, if 2020 could not get any weirder with the murder hornets, couldn't get any weirder with any of the other things. Now we have a May snowstorm, developing potentially historic May snowstorm headed for the northeast U.S. and New England. In addition to snow, 75 million people will wake up to below freezing temperatures Saturday. For many cities, it will be colder than it was on actual Christmas Day. All right, I don't believe in the end times, but if I did, this must be it. All right.
God is upset.
Well, you're an atheist. You don't believe in any time. So. Father time. That's all you believe in is father time.
God is upset right now, man.
He must be. It's all this sodomy and stuff that was going on.
All
the unnatural thoughts I'm having about my wife right now and all that stuff. She's sitting there.
Sodom and Gomorrah, man.
Sodom and Gomorrah, yeah.
Oh boy. This is one of those moments where I'm so glad I'm an atheist.
Hey, atheist or not, if you live in Michigan, if you live in, looks like New York, Pennsylvania, And all the way up through the coast, you're getting up to maybe even more than 4 inches of snow.
That's scary.
Way out here in May 7th, man. That is crazy. I do remember when I was young, it was like June or just shy of June. I was working at General Motors at the time, and I was going out back then. Everybody smoked, and I went out for a smoke, and it started snowing. I was like, "What the heck? What the heck?" Lori says Debbie Dingle was a lobbyist for the auto company while her husband was in the House for 50 years. Yeah, she's the one that died, and then she got to take over his seat somehow. Dingles have had control of Detroit and Ann Arbor since Abe Lincoln. Jeff Lincoln, Amber, I was just posting that. Amber, I've already started planting my garden. Don't plant your garden yet, Amber. you got snowflakes possible coming on Saturday. And Jeffrey says, must be global warming. Yeah. No, whenever it's not warming, then they call it climate change. Now, I'm not a skeptic. I do believe in global warming. I do believe in climate change. I'm not sure how much man has to do with it, but I do know one thing. You know what I like from this COVID-19? Clean air. It's nice being able to breathe in clean air. So forget climate change. If we can just get clean air every day, we fix climate change. Go ahead.
When you were little, Nathan, when you were like little, did you remember ever having not a white Christmas?
Yeah, man. I remember I had a birthday party because we grew up poor, so I only had 1 or 2 birthday parties, Brandon and I. And we had our friends over. We must have been 11. In fact, VCRs were new, and we watched Ernest Goes to Camp with all of our friends, and we went outside, and it was like a what we used to call an Indian summer, where all of a sudden it just got warm, and it was actually like 50 or 60 degrees, and that was the weekend after my birthday. So yeah, going into January. Now, what I never remember was what happened about 10 years ago. We were in Michigan, and it was actually thunderstorming, raining in January in northern Michigan. I've never seen that ever. So, I haven't
had a white Christmas, and I lived in Grand Rapids where we get a lot of lake effect snow too, like northern, it's western Michigan. Mm-hmm. But I have never had a white Christmas in the last 3 years.
Have you noticed though?
It'll snow a little bit at Thanksgiving,
right?
And then it goes brown.
Yeah, but have you noticed?
Unless it's white.
Have you noticed though that we're having colder springs, abnormally cold springs the last few years? And if you look at the pole, the North Pole has shifted towards Russia. And I'm thinking that has something to do with our winters coming later. And really what we're experiencing now is a little bit of winter.
Man, I have no idea. Down here in Florida, I think it's 90 degrees all year round.
Now you're just showing off, dude.
I love y'all, though.
Now you're just showing off.
I take a winter. I go to Minnesota every year for a week just to spend time in the snow with the kids. So
yeah, nice. Now you're just showing off, man.
I love y'all though.
No, we don't love you because believe me, I'd be killing for just 70 degree and sunny right now. Of course, we're all locked down, so it doesn't matter anyways. Russell's in North Carolina. He says it's chilly for May here. Yeah, it's chilly here in the D.C. metro area as well. All right. So, Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer is going to ban guns inside the state capitol after the armed reopen protests. That's just because she's just a gun grabber. There's no reason. There was no incidents, but whatever.
Man, I don't know why would they do that shit. They did that, but now you done kind of messed it up for the people who do carry, because the government gonna react irrationally.
Right.
Oh, Kareem, this is something that we've been discussing over here on the liberal side. What would have happened if people of color stormed that Capitol?
Yeah, it probably would have got ugly.
Yeah.
And it probably would have got ugly. I see a lot of scenarios where a white American might do something.
Oh, I do too. It's sad.
Say, man, if a black person would have did that, man, it would have went totally left.
It's just like
just like the guy that was the lawyer that was driving, the Uber driver, and he filmed the police officers unlawfully searching his car. He was giving them such a hard time. I was just telling my wife, if that would have been a black dude, they would snatch him out the car and threw him on the ground and everything.
Right. And thank God for video, because it's now starting to equalize everything out. Listen, we're not going to get on this because tomorrow, actually, we're going to, I'm doing a special segment with Chaplain Key. I think Jasper's going to be on, Gabriel, on racial injustice and explicit, and we're going to debate it a little bit. Is it as bad as they say it is? We all know it's there, but, if that was a white dude yesterday or last week, that Ahmaud Arbery, if he was a white guy jogging, guaranteed he wouldn't have been hunted down and shot by fake rednecks. If
that is what white privilege is. You get the benefit of the doubt because you're white.
you do, I agree with white privilege in a very limited extent, but we're going to go over that tomorrow, so let's save that for tomorrow because we have a big show on that tomorrow.
Exactly. So that's why Republicans, blacks, we need to listen to what these Democrats are saying and listen to see are they really going to do something to affect change in this country.
Exactly.
And earn the black vote.
Yep.
That's just my soapbox for the evening.
I love it. Soapbox it away. So going back to what Ambrose bringing up, the barber, Michigan barber says he will not close the shop. If you look at the middle picture here, there's actually a cop saying, hey, you need to close down. He's saying no. People have been, freedom lovers have been actually jumping in and paying his fines for him. But then down in Texas, a judge actually jailed a barber or salon owner, Shelley Luther. She became like a national cause celebrity for the Free Up movement, so much so that the Republican governor and the Republican attorney general petitioned the Supreme Court to get her released, even though she is violating the governor's thing. They're trying to walk it back because they're Republicans, and they know that they've crossed the line here. Bottom line, you cannot call yourself a Republican unless you believe in freedom. And when you're letting criminals out of jail in Dallas because of COVID-19, but you're putting business owners who are just trying to survive into jail, there's a problem. So they've actually even agreed to pay her fines. They could petition and the Supreme Court let her out. But that's not good for if Texas, the old school Republicans better get it together because the Republican Party is no longer just the religious right and everything that it used to be. The family, no, they're libertarians. They're saying, hey, we want freedom and liberty. We want to choose for ourselves what to do with ourselves. And that's where the Democrats are walking a dangerous line. Remember, it was Bloomberg in New York City who banned big gulps because it wasn't good for the people. Okay, and you know why they do it? Because when New York City is paying for your health care because it's a socialist city, basically, then now all of a sudden they're going to start controlling your life because they're going to like, hey, I don't want you having a big gulp because then you're going to be in the hospital costing us money. It's just like what the military does to us. They're always, safety this, safety that. It isn't that they care about our safety. They don't want to pay for our medical bills.
Yeah, that too. Because, we're a commodity,
And that's what you are when you're socialist. You're a commodity. You're just a voter.
Yeah.
And they got to do it at the cheapest thing because socialism is expensive. Expensive as hell. Hey, by the way, the deep state is cracking up. Justice Department drops criminal case against former Trump aide Michael Flynn. The Justice Department is dropping its prosecution after a trove of documents came out showing that the only case they were ever going to have against him was to try to get him to lie under oath. And on the thing, it says, are we really going at this? Or are we just trying to get him to lie? Apparently, they got him in what they think could have been a falsehood. He pled guilty because he didn't want to fight it. And what didn't come out, which was inappropriate, according to the lawyer, thanks to Natalie's own post. She helped me out with my own thing. That lawyer, he did not. The federal government in the plea was supposed to release that part of the agreement was that they wouldn't go after his family. So he pled guilty to save his family, even though he didn't feel like he was really guilty. They finally dropped it all today. The next thing that's happening with this deep state thing is that a House panel releases long-awaited transcripts from the Russia probe. Apparently, Adam Shifty Schiff is in panic mode because there was absolutely no evidence found of any Trump-Russia collusion. That was the hoax of a lifetime. However, observers say it could raise questions about statements made by Schiff, famously dubbed Shifty Schiff by Trump. He had said, quote, on news shows, there is direct evidence in the emails from the Russians through their intermediary offering dirt on Hillary Clinton as part of what it described as writing as the Russian government effort to help elect Donald Trump. Come to find out, all of that was a big lie. Big lie. Shifty Schiff lied. It was a hoax. It was a hoax just like Natalie's internet's a hoax because she keeps dropping off.
Yeah, but on a serious note, brother, this is not good for our government, man. All these, maybe this stuff been going on many years. I'm sure it has been, but with social media and technology, it's just the information is just flowing out here, and it's not the American people as a whole. We're not looking good right now.
You're right.
With all this scandal,
back and forth. Yeah, I agree. It's making our government look like a banana republic.
Come on, man. Come on.
I agree.
I mean,
Dave Adams just brought up a good point on that last story about the lady who went to jail. And she didn't even go to jail for violating the governor's order. This lady here, Shelley Luther, she didn't go to jail for that. She went to jail for contempt because he fined her, and she's like, "Fine, I'll pay my fine." He's like, "Well, I'll keep you out of jail if you just apologize." And she said, "I can't violate my conscience. I'm not apologizing for trying to make a living for my family and for my employees to make a living." And that's what they jailed her on. And it was a big abuse of power, and that is sad, man. But going back to the FBI, they were corrupt. You know, the FBI was supposed to be, you're talking about the credibility of our government. The FBI was the most credible organization at one time until James Comey took over. All right?
After the Black Panther movement.
James Comey took over, and he is the one that ruined the FBI because he allowed spying through fake FISA warrants. Here's the news stories to back it up. Inspector General report on FBI's FISA abuse tells us one thing: we need radical reform. Flynn documents are the smoking gun on Comey's FBI. You may have seen him on a prayer candle, but James Comey is no saint. Barr and Durham investigation evidence shows that we're not dealing with just mistakes or sloppiness. They use the secret courts of the FISA court to spy on a presidential candidate. And I think it goes above and beyond just James Comey. He's the fall guy. But I want to get Loretta Lynch on the stand under oath, and I want to get President Obama on the stand under oath, because if they or any president spies on another president using the strong arm of the government, that is a travesty, and that's what will make us look like a banana republic. Point
man, and it's making me sick. But back on the FBI, they are a relentless organization. Once they are on you, or they feel that they got, they're gonna dig and dig. And shit, them alphabet boys you don't want to mess with.
That's 3 letters of the alphabet. Yes, you do not want to mess with that and IRS.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
This is a good-hearted story. This is a Dutch restaurant, I believe. But restaurant enforces social distancing with private little greenhouses that they made for dinner, for diners. So each diner has their own little greenhouse, like a little bubble around them, so nobody can say, "Hey, there's no social distancing going on," because they're actually.
What the hell?
Now they wouldn't be able to be like friends. They'd have to be from the same household to dine together like that. But I thought it was a pretty smart way. You know what's crazy? This is what I love about the Republican Party and capitalism.
That's pretty dope.
That's what I love about capitalism. Capitalism will always find you a solution faster. When you tell a capitalist no or an entrepreneur no, they go find a way to say, "Well, what about this?" You know? I mean,
that's what I'm talking about, baby.
That's why we got the iPhone. That's why we got Hood Samaritan. That's why we've got all these genius ideas. But now capitalism.
People are going without medical care right now.
I was about to bring that up.
Capitalism.
It's expensive, but without capitalism, we would not have remdesivir right now. And without capitalism, we wouldn't have any treatment for COVID-19 for the next 3 or 4 years. And what they did a study, it's going to cost $9.97 to make a 10-day supply of remdesivir. But in order to capture the cost of research and development for that, how much do you think each 10-day dose is going to probably be?
Well, how come China?
No, that's a question. Yes. Okay, go ahead.
What were you going to say? Repeat that question again.
The question is, it's going to cost $9.97 to create a 10-day dose of remdesivir. This is the antiviral.
And then we're going to get it, and then the pharmaceutical companies are going to take it. They're going to jack up.
They're already a pharmaceutical company. They're the ones that found it, researched it, and developed it. How much?
That's how much it's going to cost.
How much is it going to cost? I already know the number.
To make. And then and they're going to.
They have to recover their costs, right? They can't do research for free.
Baby.
Well, I know that pharmaceutical companies, the man who invented insulin, he, way back, he didn't even patent it because he wanted it to be distributable to everybody.
And that's called charity.
Pharmaceutical companies got a hold of it, even though that was what he intended it for, and they jacked the prices up to where diabetics are rationing their insulin and dying off right now.
Okay.
And pharmaceutical companies, and that's
they're gonna charge about 10 times the amount of that, maybe $100 for a treatment.
In order to recoup the billions of dollars that it costs to research and develop the drug, most drugs take about 100 different trials and error and failures to make a new novel drug. They're gonna charge between $3,000 and $5,000 for a 10-day dose. They have to though.
Get the fuck out of here! 3 to 5. Is that
So tell me
okay?
more about how capitalism always finds a way.
Because and that's why we have, if you go back to your lawyer and study patent law like I did in law school, that's exactly the whole point of the patent law, is so that we can advance the sciences in our country, because it costs money,
But that's
lots
not
of
what-
money.
Then how come?
We gotta get that generic version.
Generic can't come for 10 years. They're protected because they have to recoup their costs. That's what incentivizes people to go out and fail until they find something.
Why didn't they do that with insulin? Nobody was recouping costs. Insulin was invented.
None of us were alive when that happened. I don't know.
Well, then that's capitalism.
But capitalism nowadays is why you have promising treatments that will be out and vaccines that will be out in less than a year. Without capitalism, ask how communism worked and socialism worked. Hold on, let me finish. I've been trying to let you finish. Hold on. That's why. That's why in Eastern Europe, when we had communism, that's why they were driving outdated cars with low technology, because there was no incentive to go out and find the next best thing.
Okay, well, in Europe, nobody drives anyway. Everybody takes public transportation, which is actually better for the environment.
Okay, you're mixing apples and oranges. I'm talking in the 1980s, 70s, 60s, 50s under socialist communism. There was no incentive to create new and novel things, and they're way behind us in technology.
Well, they have a totally different culture. But going to China, how come China comes out with vaccines and so much? If
Capitalism. They have a form of capitalism. They're going to sell it across the world and make a killing.
Yeah.
Capitalism has done more for China in the last 20 years than communism ever did. That's why they'll never go back to strict communism again. Now, remember, Gilead charged $84,000 for a Hep C drug, right? But in order to get their costs back, they're going to have to charge a lot of money, unless the big government's going to come in and say, hey, we will, if you give this to us at cost or at cost plus 100%, make it $200 a dose, we will reimburse you for all the costs. That's one stimulus they could do as a national health. But they can't do that with every drug, every cancer drug, all that. So we can't set a precedence there.
Insurance.
All right, so this is right here. This is more of the tolerant left at work. This poor little girl here is getting married. She's going to get married. Donald Trump Jr. found this. She's going to get married to a Donald Trump supporter, and her family will not walk her down the aisle now because of it. Let me play you the video real quick.
So my parents hate my fiance because he's a conservative and they're liberal, and they refused to go to our wedding, and they gave me an ultimatum of choosing between him or them. So I chose myself, in that I chose what would make me happiest in the long run. And my mother told me I wasn't capable of being loved or being in a relationship because I was assaulted when I was 17. So I chose my fiance. And I will be walking myself down the aisle in December. So if anyone has a dad that would like to walk me down the aisle, let me know.
All right, now she didn't go and date a heroin addict. She wasn't going out to be a stripper. She was going out to marry a guy who happened to be a Trump supporter. And some of the vitriolic things, hold on, I'll let you respond in a second. Some of the most vitriolic statement I've ever seen online towards like debating and name calling comes from the left. But Donald Trump Jr. said really sad and touching at the same time. Good for her for standing up to this nonsense. P.S. If you don't find someone better, count me in. I'll walk her down the aisle. Let me know. So I think that's pretty sweet. Go ahead, Natalie. Respond.
Okay, this reminds me of, because I've never heard of that before for political affiliation. But you know what I've heard of this a lot of? Gay people. When somebody has a lesbian daughter or they have a gay son, and they want to marry up with their partner, and then dads refuse to walk their daughters down there. I hear that all of the time for that. And it's always conservative.
Yeah.
But this is the first that I've heard of political affiliation. Pretty out there.
Oh, they did a study.
It doesn't seem like, just a second, it doesn't seem like it's coming from.
Hey, no, that shit.
No, let me talk. It doesn't sound like it's coming from.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
It sounds like they're taking a page out of the book of conservatives here.
Yeah.
No, it's serious. It's serious. It's very, very, very serious. But I wouldn't take that. I have 2 daughters. I wouldn't take that approach with my daughters. If I had the opportunity to live and see my daughters get married, I don't care. They made that decision. I raised them good enough to choose the right person. I'm walking them down the aisle. But it is very serious about who your political ties are to and how people view that. And more now than ever.
Yeah.
More now than ever. And I don't,
that's the first time I've ever heard that. But Nathan, think about our family. What if Julianne, my daughter, became a lesbian and she wanted to marry a woman? Do you think mom and dad would be at that wedding?
I wouldn't, because I'm a Catholic. I wouldn't be at the wedding, but I'd be at the reception. And the Catholic Church has put out, well, because you can't. You can laugh all you want, but if it's a religious sacrament, you can't. That would be like having a Muslim partake in communion or the holy chalice. You can't do it. So as a religious,
supporting your family member and saying, I don't agree with you, but I'm going to be there because I love you.
That's why I'd go to the reception, just not the actual religious ceremony. If she was doing it in front of a judge, I would go in front of a judge, yes, but not in a church. I couldn't do it. But that's my conscience. But see, that's what liberals do. They laugh at you because you have conscience. Hey, if I was, listen, if
I'm laughing because it's the pot calling the kettle black.
It's not the
darn, something about political affiliation.
Political affiliation is not religion. Religion.
I never thought about. You brought up a good point, Nate. That if they're both getting married same sex, they're getting married under God, and it's. Oh, that's something to think about.
That's why I said it. They're doing a civil union before a judge, by all means. But if you're doing it in a church, no, because you're desecrating the church, in my opinion. But I would go to, and I had to face this real reality because it may have been in my life, and I'm not going to go into my own personal story there. But you're not going to make me violate my conscience to accept something that I don't believe is religiously correct. That would be like serving only pork sandwiches at my wedding and expecting and being offended because a Muslim or Jewish person wouldn't partake in the dinner I was providing them. Okay.
But like, let's say if it was John. What if John refused to walk Julianne down the aisle? That happens all the time.
I would not walk my own daughters if they were going to a church to get married to another person. I could not walk them down the aisle. But I would go to the reception. But my kids love me and respect me enough to where they wouldn't ask me to do something that violated my deeply held beliefs like that. It's not selfish to say.
And that's when it goes back to raising your kids. It goes back to raising your kids and raising them the right way and with the values and morals that they need to take that next step. So
yeah, I mean, I don't expect them to always believe everything that I believe.
I got 2 boys, 2 girls.
I don't expect them to believe everything I believe, but I do expect them, just like I respect their choice, I'd ask them to respect my choice. My kids would be totally fine with it because they would love their dad enough to not to ask me to compromise myself that way and put me in that kind of position. And I'm not a Bible thumper, but I do have strong beliefs when it comes to marriage, Now, if they wanted to go do a civil ceremony in front of a judge, in front of a government agency where that's allowed, sure, I'd be there, of course. But not in front of a pastor or a priest. I would not desecrate the church that way.
But I feel like, what if it mattered to them to get married in a church? What if they were married to somebody?
Then that's selfish. Because they're asking me to do something that they know, grown up with me, that they know I could not violate.
What if it didn't matter to your child, but let's say that her spouse, it did matter?
Then you know what?
Then dad can't walk her down the aisle.
If I was marrying a Messianic Jew, or my kids were, I would not invite them over and have pepperoni pizza and not offer them cheese pizza. Because that's called respect. All right, moving on. We always go down rabbit holes here. By the way, coronavirus can be sexually transmitted. Study finds even after symptoms have cleared. I don't know how they did this. Like, they had a bunch of Chinese guys sitting around jerking off in a cup, but they did test the semen of a bunch of people and found it in their semen that it can be transmitted sexually to another partner, whether it be male or female.
That's a bodily fluid, so.
Yeah, but it's kind of weird because it's really an upper respiratory thing, but that it joins down in the gut and testes. I don't know how that happens. I don't know if Barachel Butler can hear me. How do we join the live video? I'm not sure. Hopefully the live video is still going on. Jeffrey Lincoln says, I would not blame your mom and dad. They have their faith, same as I. Dave Adams says, Go to his page, Nightcaps with Nate. Yeah, there you go. And join there. You can watch there. Paint It Black. President Trump orders the Mexican. I love this guy, man. Love him. He is the most genius thinking guy because he's like thinking of the easiest way to keep people on their side of the fence. He wants the Mexican border wall to be painted black so it's too hot to touch in the summer, adding up to $3 billion in costs because black draws in heat, right? Yeah.
Asphalt.
Yeah. Donald Trump has reportedly ordered the U.S.-Mexican border wall to be painted black so it's too hot to touch in summer months. That's genius, man.
Man, that ain't gonna stop nobody come across that border.
Well, no.
You think
they'll put gloves on.
Them messes come across that border, even more genius. They going under and over.
Well, the border does slow you down. So when I was a combat engineer, that's what I did. I put in mine warfare and fences and stuff, and it wasn't really to stop them. It was to steer them or to slow them down enough to where they're in our kill zone, and we just boom, 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 shoot and kill them. Now, obviously, we're not shooting and killing them, but what we're doing is we're steering them to where agents are so that agents can pick them up. Because, everything in life takes the path of least resistance, including electricity, water. Almost everything takes the path of least resistance. So, I think it works fine. I think it's genius. All right, you want good news or bad news first?
Natalie, which one you want?
Let's do the good news.
Good news. Okay, good news. The praying mantis destroyed that murder. Here, let me show you the video. Destroys it in seconds. So we might have a prey for that murder hornet. Look how quickly it takes that murder hornet. Just kills it, right? And that thing is a nasty beast, by the way. I'm more scared of that than COVID. All right, you guys ready for the bad news?
Yeah.
The praying mantis lost to the.
Praying mantis.
The praying mantis lost to the murder hornet in this video. So it's not a perfect science.
Did it bow before?
I don't know if it bowed, but it got his ass whooped.
It's supposed to bow before they strike.
Well, maybe they need to evolve to where they don't bow before they strike because this hornet just killed him. No. So,
damn, those hornets ain't no joke.
I know. I was like, man, when I first saw that today, I was like, finally, yeah, we have plenty of praying mantis in this country. Yeah, plenty of. But the year of craziness in the United States is 2020. All right, final story. You guys ready? Because we only have 2.5 minutes left. Scientists have found a way to disable a gene responsible for obesity. I'm getting this treatment when it comes out.
No, heck yes.
All right. Research from Touro College in New York suggests that obese individuals burn fewer calories, blah, 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 blah. And they found a way to disable the gene, injecting something into us that wasn't even too hard to do, that disables it, and they're just trying this in mice, and it made them burn 45% more calories naturally. 45%, that's a lot.
Damn.
Now, it's just like the laparoscopic surgery. You can't go and get that done and then go eat at a buffet. Hey, thanks for joining us tonight. Again, make sure that you go and you like and share this Facebook page. Go to YouTube. Please get us up to that 100. Why? 100 is easy to get to, and we will. Well, it's been hard to get to, but we'll be able to get our own little link, and we can market this thing better. We're trying to spread the news. Hood Samaritan. If you want to look at the product offerings, I think it's hood-samaritan.com.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Go there. Natalie's not plugging anything tonight, but a lot of wine. Thank you for being on the show, Natalie. I love you. You're a great sister and a great co-host. You take a lot of beating on here. And we will see you tomorrow. Tomorrow night, we're going to have a special edition of Nightcaps with Nate. We're actually going to go over racism, whether it's implicit, explicit. We are going to have a couple, a black liberal, a black conservative, a Hispanic conservative, and, of course, Natalie to help out the liberal. And maybe even Kareem. I don't know if he's busy, but we are going to get a good debate going.
This is a show that I've been waiting for.
There you go.
I can't miss that.
And so
I've been waiting for this one.
We're going to have a very respectful debate tomorrow. That will be specially airing at 9 p.m. tomorrow, and that episode may go on past an hour. So get lots of drinks ready, and we will see you there tomorrow, 9 p.m. See ya.
Shout out to Candace Owens.
This has been Nightcaps with Nate. Please join Nate for a nightcap every weeknight at 9 Eastern here on Facebook Live.
Peace.